What is going on, everybody? This is Shok, and I'm sorry I gotta do this, but I gotta expose JackMoveJohnny yet again. Now, excuse me, for those of you who tune into my live streams and whatnot, you guys know that JackMoveJohnny is the homie, right? He's my homeboy. He's always in the Skype calls with us, chilling, whatever, playing games. He's the person I'm always playing The Last of Us with, right? So, you know, this is all in good fun, but the facts are the facts. The truth is the truth. Now, for the two of you out there who are sub to him, right? I'm sure you guys may have seen his video right now where he's basically saying that me and Trey don't play games, right? Because according to him, he's beaten more games than us last year, which is probably most likely correct. I will believe him in that he has beaten more games than two working men in 2013. You see what I'm saying? But let me tell y'all something about that video. That video was caused by a little debacle we had on Skype, where I've been saying it for the longest and Trey has jumped in. We're pretty much telling him that he is not a Sony pony because he doesn't enjoy or own enough Sony games. You see what I'm saying? So basically, y'all, JackMoveJohnny is a self-proclaimed, right? Self-proclaimed Sony pony, and yet he doesn't enjoy Starhawk, Warhawk, the MotorStorm games. You think he enjoys those? Nope. Doesn't own them. Socom? Nope. The Ratchet and Clank series? Nope. Killzone? Nope. Little Bit Planet? Nope. Resistance? Nope. Metal Gear Solid 4? Nope. And while that isn't a Sony-owned game, you know, Metal Gear has always been synonymous with the PlayStation, you know, and Sony brand. And of course, MGS4 is an exclusive. So, you guys see where I'm getting at. You guys see the point here. Outside of Uncharted and God of War, he pretty much does not own and does not like the rest of those retail Sony exclusives. PlayStation All-Stars, you think he has that? Nope. You think he had Demon Souls? Nope. Infamous? Nope. And going back to All-Stars, of course he wouldn't want to buy All-Stars because he doesn't actually play Sony games, so he doesn't even know who half the fucking roster is. All he knows is Kratos and the freaking Drake. That's all he knows. Twisted Metal. You think he has that? Nope. 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 All he knows is Uncharted, God of War, and then some downloadable / indie-like Sony games, you know, such as Journey, right, and, you know, Puppeteer. So I made a list of like all these Sony franchises and games, right? I made a list of like over 20 franchises and games. Out of that 25, or it was like 27 of them. Out of that 27, this nigga owned 7 of them. 7 of them. It was 6 or 7 out of 27, right? And you call yourself a pony. Now, to clarify my argument, right? I'm not saying he has to like all of them. Pay attention to the context, right? He is a self-proclaimed Sony pony. Not a fan, not even a fanboy. He calls himself a pony, but he only likes 1% of Sony's offerings. 1% of Sony's offerings. He owns a PS4. Does he have ShadowFall? Nope. Does he have Knack? Nope. Is he checking for Infamous Second Son? Not really. He's thinking about getting it, but only because he is thirsty for a PS4 game to play. He hates the Infamous series, did not like 1 and 2, does not own them. The only reason why he is even remotely considering Second Son is to have something to play. He has said that to me in Skype. He will not deny it. He doesn't like Sony games. He is a self-proclaimed Sony pony, and yet I have played more Sony games than him. Heavenly Sword. Do you think he owned or played that? Nope. Nope. Oh, but he's played Puppeteer and Rain and Journey and Flower. See, here's the thing about JackMoveJohnny, right? Whenever we make this argument to him, he likes to deflect and say, oh, but I have more games on my PSN, or oh, I beat more games than you last year, which is true. But here's the thing, I'm not calling myself a Sony pony. I'm not a self-proclaimed Sony pony. You see what I'm saying? If you call yourself a Sony pony, if PlayStation is your primary platform of choice, you should have more games on your PSN profile than me. You should. I'm not a Sony pony or a self-proclaimed Sony pony. I am primarily a Nintendo gamer. So you should have more games on your PSN profile than me. But here's the thing, even about that, JackMove, I've already mentioned the fact that you're completely deflecting in the first place. But let's entertain your whole, I've beat more games than you and own more games than you on my PSN profile. Let's entertain that, right? Okay, how many platforms did you own last year? Oh, just one? Just a PS3? And you claim you own a Wii. You owned a Wii, which I doubt that you actually bought yourself. But you yourself just admitted that you had 3 games on there. So you might as well not even mention the fact that you own a Wii. But I own a PS3, a Wii, a 360, and a PC. One I'm playing plenty of games on. You're playing on one system where you can focus all your money, financials, all into one system. I wish I was a Nintendo Jones so that way I could focus my money on my Nintendo products so I could just have a plethora of freaking Nintendo games. You see what I'm saying? Which I have, tons of, but there's still 1 or 2, 3 or 4, Nintendo games here and there that I still want to buy that I haven't gotten around to. So I would hope that you have 97 compared to my 50 PS3 games. But even the thing about that is that how many of those games, JackMoveJohnny, are PlayStation Plus or $5 to $20 indie games or HD collection titles that PlayStation Plus will count as individual games? Egg motherfucking exactly. If we go to your PSN profile, count up the amount of PlayStation Plus, count the amount of indie titles that cost $5, $15, and count up the amount of collections that the PSN profiles separates into individual games and has trophies for each and individual game. That knocks off, I haven't done the exact calculations, but I'm assuming that will knock off 50% of your whole entire profile. And then to go further, right, let's say all those things knock off 50% of your profile, then let's take off the multiplats, right? Because we're discussing whether or not you're a Sony pony. If you're a Sony pony, you're talking about you love Sony's offerings. You playing multiplats has nothing to do with you being a Sony pony. So then if you take that off, that is another 25 to 30% knocked off. Meaning that 20% of your PSN profile is actual Sony retail exclusives. X-Powers. I wouldn't even say that. It's probably, I gotta go through and do the calculations myself. It's probably 10%. Because the only retail Sony exclusives you like is Uncharted and God of War. So all you got on your PSN profile, collections aside, is Uncharted 1 through 3, and then God of War 3, God of War Ascension, and Sly Cooper 4. Bam! That's it! Everything else you own, downloadable, HD collection, or $20 or indie game title. Have that motherfucking see. You've been exposed. You have been exposed. I have played more Sony retail exclusives than you, sir. I have owned more Sony retail exclusives than you, sir. Have that seat. I used to own MotorStorm and played it before BBC took 99% of the collection to Chicago. Enjoyed it. I played and beat Heavenly Sword before BBC took the shit. Played it and enjoyed it. Have you? No. I own PlayStation All-Stars. Played it and enjoyed it. Have you? Oh, no. I own Killzone. Played it and enjoyed it. Have you? Nope. I own The Resistance. Played it and enjoyed it. Have you? No. Because you are a fake ass Sony pony. And to entertain the whole, I played more games than you last year, that may be true. You've played and beaten more games than me. Well, not played and beaten. I've actually probably played more games than you last year. But as far as beaten, you have beaten more games than me last year, JackMoveJohnny. Because, one of us had a job and one of us didn't. Not trying to throw shots. Jack Move's the homie. I'm just saying. He's comparing, the schedule of a working man to, a man who, kind of hasn't worked in a while. But, have you beaten more games than me for the entire generation? No, you haven't. Because you have 97 games on your PSN profile last time I checked. And you admittedly have only owned and played 3 Wii games. So basically 100 games for the whole entire generation. Right? And so that's 100. So you mean to tell me out of my DS library, my PSP library, my PC library, 360 library, which those two aren't, a lot, but I still got some games there that I've completed. My PS3 library and my Wii library, you have beaten more games than me? No. And then not to mention, a huge portion of your beat games are $5, $20 indie guys. The only reason why you have that many is because as of recently, you have not been spending $60 on games, and instead you have been going on a indie craze since last year, sir. If you guys have been subbed to me for a long time, you will know that I've never really been huge on downloadable or indie games until recently, right? Until maybe 2012 is when I really started to give downloadable and indie games a chance. And it wasn't because I thought they were lesser games. They just, for some reason, never appealed to me. But I did start it up. But see, let's say we own the even amount of games, right? If I owned 100 games, you owned 100 games, here's the thing. 80 of those 100 games for you would be downloadable indie or collection, right? 5 of those games would be downloadable indie or collections for me. Have that fucking seat. So you are not a Sony pony, and it's okay. It's okay not to be a pony. You're a simple Sony fan. It's okay to be a Sony fan. You're just not a pony. If you call yourself a pony, you should own and enjoy the majority, at least the majority of Sony's offerings, right? Arbiter365 is a self-admitted Sony fanboy, right? If I go to his profile, he's going to have, in addition to God of War and Uncharted, he's going to have Little Big Planet. He's going to have Starhawk, Warhawk. He's going to have Twisted Metal. He's going to have Socom. He's going to have Ratchet and Clank. He's going to have PlayStation All-Stars. He's going to have Demon Souls. He's going to have Heavenly Sword. You, sir, do not. You're a fake pony. You're a fraud. You're exposed. Have that seat.